Alright, good evening everyone. My name is Caitlin and this is Josh and Justin. Tonight we will be discussing building social support for freshmen and transfer student athletes. Our target participants are freshmen and transfer athletes, both male and female from all different sports. And we were going to do a social support orientation to get them adjusted to the demands of college life as an athlete. And we're going to educate them about campus, the athletic department, tutors, and interacting with other fellow athletes.
Okay, just a brief background on the importance of peer motivation. This first study examined the role of peer motivation on an athlete's intrinsic motivation. And what they found was that peers provide each other with emotional and moral support. And also peers are able to engage in collaborative learning, which involves giving teammates help and advice, and also additional practice if an athlete needs additional practice. Okay, this next study examined the role of task involving peer motivational climate on intrinsic motivation, and also perceived coaches' autonomy support on that peer motivational climate, which then results, or which then affects intrinsic motivation. And what they discovered here is the same thing. Task involving peer motivational climate influences intrinsic motivation, and coaches' autonomy support influences that peer motivational climate, which also then in return influences an athlete's intrinsic motivation. Okay, and this next study is what most resembles our plan and our goal for the athletic department here. In this study, 77 student athletes participated in focus groups during the course of their first semester on campus. The students were taking a behavioral science class, which met twice a week. So they would meet in that class, in that regular class, the first meeting during the week. And then that second meeting during the week, they would meet and report to their arranged focus groups. And each week, the athletes would discuss topics including time management, stress management, career development, alcohol and drug abuse with a group leader. And that group leader was a graduate student in the counseling program on campus. And at the end of the 8 weeks, I believe it was 8 weeks, at the end of the 8 weeks, they gave that student athletes an evaluation, and the feedback was very good. It was very positive. The athletes felt that they benefited from the weeks of the focus groups, and they felt that they were able to adjust to college life, and that the focus groups gave them an opportunity to relax and just be stress-free. Okay, so for our intervention, we won't go as long as the previous study did with the 8 weeks. Our goal is something a little bit more shorter, and we're going to go with 4 weeks, and we're going to meet once a week for each of those 4 weeks. And we will have 3 people in a group. In that previous study, there were 77 participants, and there were 11 groups, and so therefore it was 7 people per group. But in our focus groups, we're just going to limit it to 3. And also we will give them assignments to do throughout the 4 weeks, and each week they will bring in something to turn in, and then they will be given an additional assignment to do on their own. Okay.
All right, the components of the program include a big welcome event, a campus tour, scavenger hunt, interviews with other athletes of different sports and things. Find information about athletic study hall and tutors for athletes, and then finally a culmination game night evaluation thing. Alright, week 1 will be the welcome event. And so that's when we're going to hand out a packet of information that will include all of the assignments and a schedule of what we're going to be doing for the next 4 weeks within our program. Also, that night we're going to assign the athletes into their groups and try to put them in groups with athletes from other sports and even other genders. And also, we're going to tell them that their first set of interviews is due the following week, and they must interview 5 athletes total, 3 from other sports that are not their own. Week 2, we're going to be the scavenger hunt around campus with their group. They have to take photos of. We're going to give them a list. They have a list of things to find on campus, and they have to go there and either take a picture of it, do some small activity there. We're going to collect their interviews, and then we're also going to assign them new interviews, which involve 3 athletes from any sport that they're choosing, just 3 people they'd like to get to know better. All right, week 3, we're going to collect their scavenger hunt and their additional interviews, and then assign them professor introductions, which means it basically just be an interview of the professors of the classes they're taking, just so that they get to know the professors, office hours, where their office is, about class, and also so the professor knows that, hey, I'm an athlete, and depending on if their sport is in season or not, they could be needing to get in touch with that professor to get missed items if for some reason they missed due to an athletic event. As well, we're going to have somebody come and talk to them about the scholastic things available for athletes, including athletic-specific tutors through the athletic department and through the regular university, as well as the resources around campus for both the athletes and athletes only, and then also for the general student population. You know, the library, the study halls, places to study, various things like that, computer labs. And finally, last week, we're going to collect their professor assignments, interviews, and have a little get-together and hopefully they've made new friends, they've learned about their school, met people that they can develop relationships with, and even continue on in the future. As well as that night, we're going to pass out an evaluation of our program, just so we personally can get some feedback on things that went well, things that they didn't like, what we need to change in the future if we do this somewhere at another school. Thank you very much.